Hello everyone, welcome to the Creative Cove. My name is Michelle. Today I thought I'd do a video on labels. Yeah, I've got a little obsession with labels. I buy them secondhand all the time. I never actually buy brand new labels. You can get them from any thrift shop really. It's just whether or not you're lucky that day, and there's some there. But you can see I have collected an assortment of labels I need to use up. And I thought, that's not a label, so we'll get rid of that one. I thought we could do some label making today. So what I love about labels is their versatility. They're so easy to use. You can use them for so many projects. You can take them and do mass making on them and have them ready to peel and go. I have a series of videos on how I have used these in the past, but I thought I'd do kind of like a new collaboration of yes, a repeat of those videos on some of the labels that I've got here. So I've done a video on how to sketch on them, how to stamp on them, and create ready to use peel and stick stickers basically. I'm just gonna grab a couple of, that's business cards, just grab a couple of different ones here, different sizes. And let's see, did I miss some? I have so many that I can't keep track of them all. Oh yeah, these two. So let's pull this guy out, one of these. So labels can be pretty darn expensive. I found them expensive when they're new, when I needed them for my business. I don't use them for my business anymore because I don't ship anything. These are plastic. So I haven't used these yet. The little round plastic ones for jars. But we'll give it a try. We'll see. It might be a disaster, or it might be fun to discover something new. Okay, so for the first one, what I like to do usually is ink them up. So I like that vintagey kind of look. So there's some frayed burlap. We'll try that. I'm sorry if my camera shakes all over the place while I do this. It's because it's mounted to the desk. I'm rubbing this on. I'll try and keep it as steady as I can. I just want to dirty them up. Maybe use more than one ink. Let's go into some brushed corduroy. This is a nice color. I like this one. I'm just going to dirty up the whole page. You can go as much or as little as you like. Okay, this one is tiny little slender ones. So maybe I will add a little bit of print. Not sure what I'm doing on these yet. These ones I might sketch on. So I'm going to let that dry for a second. We'll move to, let's move to these ones. Yeah, so these are tiny little squares. And we'll repeat the process because, again, I like a vintage look, but that's up to you. You can use bright pinks and purples, whatever colors you're working with your journals and artwork. And like I said, you can make a, you know, an assembly line of this type of thing. I'm just gonna, I love this print. So you're gonna find I use this quite a lot. Yeah, I have a little bit more darker color here. And then for this one, maybe we'll just stamp. So let me just grab a stamp. So I've got this one. This is one of my hand carved stamps. I think think I've shown a video on this. And I will just stamp in there. Kind of fun. What else have I got? I got this one. This is another handmade stamp. And you can see how fast and easy these come together. And why wouldn't you want to use up your stamps while you have them out and handy? So maybe we'll just do a focal point on this one. And then use up, kind of break the stamp up a bit. Something like that. And then if you have numbers or letters, that would be really cute, but I don't have anything small like that. I have this little thing. This is kind of a fun texture. Let's use, I don't have one of those plastic stamp boxes, you know, so I just kind of make stuff up. I use the lid off something else. Just add some texture in here. And remember, the border that you're going to peel off gets left behind. What else have I got that I can use? I think these are just dollar store stamps. Let's do Dream. What's that one? Grateful. Well, there's a little number. Let's use that. Sorry, not the most professional looking thing, but that's how I roll here at the Creative Cove. Tiny numbers, but still good. I don't even care if they're straight or not. Just having fun stamping. Just enjoy it. Don't overthink it. You can change colors too, so maybe go into the softer color. And then let's do one more. Let's do this one's gone. No surprise there. Let's maybe do this one then. So we got a little couple lines. And just kind of add that texture in there. Right? And then you've got individual ready to use peel off labels. So I would sit and do a bunch of these. And then, for example, what have I got handy? That's something handy we could use this on. If I have, say, a scrap here, a scrap piece of paper. Whoop. And you just want to turn it into some sort of tag. And now you have your things that are ready to go. You just pull them off, stick it down. Whenever you want to add something. So if you're in a journal, for example, you're decorating your journals, you've got an empty spot, you can peel and stick. Done. All right, so that's stamping. And of course, you can always embellish it further. You can always, you know, grab a pen and play with your stamps even more if you wanted something a little bit more dramatic. I mean, the possibilities just keep going and going. So again, whatever you like. So that's stamping. Pretty easy. Easy peasy. And again, you can just do an assembly line of those super fast. And it's nice because you can get out stamps you rarely use and play with that. I'm just going to clean up a little bit here so we have some room to maneuver. Put that back on my golds. Okay. Another one we'll do now because I want it to dry. So I'm going to, again, repeat the ink because I like that vibe. So I apologize for the camera. And this one is my pressed flowers. So I have been walking the doggy in the forest, and a couple of weeks ago I collected some. I walk with this little book and pull it out when I find a little specimen that I want to press. I'm going to see if these are dry. Let's see what we got here. So this is really cute. Use that. Don't know what maybe that's all I put in this book because I had 2 books with me. There's this. Is it dry? Yeah, it's pretty dry. Don't like that one though. Okay, maybe I have to grab my other book. Hang on a sec. I think I put the majority in this one, so I tend to fill it. Let's see if these are dry. And I've done a video on how to make these. They're so handy because they're so tiny. There we go. I like that one. He's dry. You do have to make sure they are dry, completely dry. Otherwise, they will not do well. That guy's so cute. I'm going to take him instead. I would recommend tweezers too while doing this because I don't have delicate fingers. Okay, so here's a couple of ones I have done. Just some cute little baby specimens that were just starting to green. I really like these ones and these ones. Okay, so we got some. Let's get those aside for now. So again, I'm going to put a little bit of stamping on because I do like that look. So I'm going to use some more of a high contrast with the darker. What's that one called again? Faux burlap. And then maybe with this one, this side I'll go softer. Okay, so the varnish that I like to use is this Fusion Mineral paint product. I love their line of paints. They have some really good furniture paint, and this is the Tough Coat, and it's matte, so it's not shiny. What I like about this is it's non-yellowing, and it's very flexible. So you can use Mod Podge on this as well, but what I find with Mod Podge is when it dries, if it's on pretty thick, which you pretty much have to do with anything with a bit of bulk, like this guy, he's got some bulk to him, the flexibility is not there and they crack. So with this, everything stays flexible. So when you're doing labels, that's important because when you go to peel them, you're going to bend the label, right? There's a bend here. So anything that's dried hard, like Mod Podge, will crack. And the cracking's not, you know, a deal breaker, but it does, it can fall apart. And if you're going to go through this effort, you want to do something that's going to last a little bit. So all I do is I'll open this guy if it cooperates, because which it's not going to. So what do I have to pour this in? All right, let's just pour it straight on the paper because that's how we roll. And then just a junky paintbrush. So I will put some underneath. Now I try and avoid going straight to the edge because this varnish will also kind of act like a glue. And I don't want to glue the label to the backing. So that's important to stay a little bit away from the edge. And then I will pick and choose which one I want. So I'm going to put that there. So in my head, I'm probably going to cut this label in half at some point. And get 2 out of this one label. I'm just going to put him in there. And then I give him a generous coat on top. And that's what will seal the plant in. So maybe a little daub. And again, you can mass produce these. So I want to make sure that the flower and the plant matter is completely saturated. And then I can either dab and leave that texture behind, which could be really cool actually. I'm going to dab this one, and I'm going to bring it close to you in a second. So hopefully you can see it on camera, but it's left these raised varnish textures. That could be fun later when we go to, say, add a little bit more ink on top, rub some ink on there. It could grab those textures and leave behind a new look. So again, just playing, having some fun. So maybe a little bit more here. The only thing you have to do with this, obviously, is be patient and let it dry. So I can't speak for any other type of varnish. This is the only one I've ever used, but I imagine anything that's self-leveling and has a flexibility to it would work. I wouldn't recommend a spray varnish simply because it's not thick enough. I would want something a little thicker. So I got varnish there. We'll see how that works. So something you can leave open like this, and then you can stamp something in here or draw something in here after. So they don't all have to be identical kind of spacing or anything. I'm just going to make sure that's adhered. Okay, this one I really like, so I think I'm just going to do a full page for him. Make him a real big focal point. Now you could put glue, you could put the varnish straight behind him and not go right out to the edge. But because the varnish will have a matte finish, I think it's good to bring that background on the whole piece as opposed to just trying to capture the just behind the plant. Because when it dries, it's obviously gonna leave a little bit of a coloration behind it. So you can see I'm just saturating the plant. Again, you can mass make these and have them ready to go. And I love having stuff like this ready to go. Hopefully I'm in camera view here. All right, a couple more. So I really like these ones. I also really like this. So maybe I'll just do two. Use them up. All right. Ooh, that's a lot. Don't need a lot. This stuff will last you a long time, and I do use it with my furniture as well. When I finish a piece, I will varnish it. Sometimes. Sometimes I don't. But I do love that product. If you're ever thinking of refinishing a piece of furniture, I highly recommend Fusion Mineral Paint. It's just so easy to use, and you don't need a lot of it. Like, it's expensive paint, but it goes a long way. Just make sure that's saturated. And then we're going to let this dry for a bit and we'll come back to it while we're working on our other ones. So I'm just going to put this aside. Put it up here. Put a lid on my varnish. Let's go back to these ones and let's do some sketching. I've got a couple little books here that I like to use as references for quick little. I've shown these in the past in other videos, and I just love books like this. I get them from the secondhand shop. Here's some grasses, and they're very simple, broken down drawings, but they give you some inspiration to draw your own. So let's do some. So sometimes you're just in the mood to sketch, you know, or give it a try or whatever, and these labels are great for that because you can produce a bunch of things all at once. You can be ready and try a few things, like have these pages ready to go, try a few things, see what you like, see what you don't like. But they're not expensive. So if you do these sketches and you think, ooh, well, I don't know what I'm doing, that's a terrible sketch, which I do myself, you just toss them out. It's not a big deal, or cut them up and recycle them. And that's what I love about these labels. Another thing I really love about labels, especially when it comes to the sketching, is the size of the label can really force you to be creative when it comes to sketching. Finding a composition that fits in this really long, narrow space can really be fun challenge. Something as simple as that. Let's go to another grass. So something like this, like a wheat. So I'll just do a line on the side, and then I'm just gonna pull up some seeds, and I'm just implying the texture. Nothing super fancy. Just something simplistic and elegant for your little journals. And handmade, like hand sketched. I love that. And I think the recipient of your journal, if you're giving it away or selling it, would love it too. Okay, something that simple. You do something dainty. So I'm not going to do all these labels, but I do have other videos where I've done little flowers. I've done mushroom houses. What else have I done for sketching? Bird houses, all on labels. So if you're interested in that, you can head to the playlist. I'll try and remember to link it, but I'm notorious for false promises. If I do forget to link it, put it in the comments and I'll read. I always read the comments. I don't always have time to respond, and I apologize, but I do read them because they're encouraging and you guys are so sweet and always have something nice to say. And my favorite is when I actually hear that someone's been inspired by one of my videos. Makes me really, really happy. So please don't think I'm not reading them if I don't answer. I've just been so swamped that sometimes I just have to put my phone and iPad away because it kills my brain. And I just don't have the energy at the end of the day after work or a busy day to respond. So I do apologize for that, but I swear it's not personal. Okay, so cute little sketches. So you can see how fast you can do these. Let's do another one, maybe out of this book. Man, I love these books. They're just so pretty. Something like this one. So you can see how wide this drawing is. It's not going to fit in a long, skinny label, but you could have some fun doing something, say, like this, where you use 2 labels, and I'll show you how you can apply it to a journal after, if I remember. Almost like a diptych, like 2-panel painting. And you can frame these separately. So again, just nice, quick sketches. Nothing too serious. Nothing stressful, just doodle. Just like sit on the couch, put your favorite show on, and just sketch away on your labels. And you can always ink and stamp them after. Okay, so that one covered 2 labels. Something that simple. I call these my quickie sketches, where they're just grabbing the form real quick. All right, let's do one more. I promise, one more. We're still waiting for that varnish to dry. Something a little different, something like this. So this is the shape of the label we're working on, so that helps. Do a little flower head up here. So see, I'm not putting in a lot of detail. I'm simply implying the texture. And that's all you want to do for this sort of thing, unless you're really into sketching, of course, and you want to give it a lot of detail. And then another thing you can do, they obviously won't be labels, but you could print these, scan them and print them and reuse them over and over again, so you get more bang for your sketch. So see, I'm just using the book as a reference. I'm not trying to copy the exact plant unless I'm doing something botanical and trying to capture it. But you get the idea, and you can just fill the whole page. So for this, for example, you can take another piece of paper. And you can take this one. Is that too long? Yeah, I go this way. Like that. And then take the other side of the same image. Like this. And then cut them out, or tear them in this case, because it's a nice old book page. And again, you guys know, if you follow my videos, I don't do perfect. None of my stuff I ever make is straight or perfect. It's just how I roll. Okay, and just rip the same amount of border around if you can. This way. And now you have the two images. So then you can put them in a journal. So let's find a journal here. We can glue them in. You can staple them in. Yeah, you can do whatever you want. And then you can, your eye is going to visually connect these. So you can do something fun like that. So I want to give you an idea of those, and maybe just how easy it is to pull a page out and stick it right in a journal. So on this nice piece of tissue paper. And you have instant ready to use labels. Stickers, really. All right, okay, so that's idea number 2 or 3. What was the other idea I had? Sketching. Oh, and there's inking too. So if you have like spray ink or even paint, I've got some spray ink here. I don't love the way these spray, but you can really come up with some fun textures and kind of make your own sticker paper. That was Vintage Photo. This one was Walnut Stain. What else have I got? This is water. So I wonder what water will do. I'm gonna wet the paper a little bit. We'll see. And maybe use this guy. See what this does with water. Smear it all out. Just have some fun creating some background papers with inks and paints. So don't have any paint on my desk handy right now, but just using up some ink and making basically a messy paper that you can peel off and embellish in a journal. It would be fun to kind of add some paint to this. Or if you have stencils, you know, you can do stencils. Do I have any paint handy? I got some white paint here. So I'm just going to use my finger. Make a mess. I have seen people too, I've done it in the past, where you make a thicker paint and then you use your stamps and stamp in to create that. You just want to wipe your stamp off with something after. And of course, I'm not prepared. So I'm just going to use a piece of paper here. You just want to make sure your stamp doesn't get clogged up. Otherwise, it won't print nicely. And be prepared to get dirty. But then when that dries and you ink over it, it's going to have some really cool texture. I think I'm going to do it again up here. So this is just acrylic white, titanium white. And then just pull it off, and I'll bring it up a little closer for you. Let me just clean my favorite stamp here. You can see I beat this thing up. So I'll bring it up close because it's not dry, so I can't ink over it right now, but it leaves that relief of that texture underneath, which is really fun. Okay, we'll let that dry. Let's see, I think these are good to go. They're still a little bit wet. Yeah, they're still pretty wet. I'll leave those for a second more. Might have to go off camera and dry those. Now these ones are shiny, so I don't think they'll hold ink very well. But there's only one way to find out. So this one, maybe you could take something you have kicking around, something handy. Let me just see what I've got in this folder here. So maybe you could do, what have I got? Something simple. What's in this? Papers. Oh, something maybe like a washi tape, something like these. Now I have really dirty hands, sorry. I'll just do two. And then just embellish them with some washi tape, stickers. What else have I got? Something like this. Just making them that simple. If you have like, say another stamp you could use, or I'm just trying to make it so that it's super simple to use. Here's some washi tape here. These are beautiful from the washi tape shop. About these, something like this. I don't like this texture of this showing up on it, but that's the only sponge I have to use. Making it really messy. Let's do another one of these because they're so pretty. Let's do this one. And what else have I got? So let's see. I have so much washi tape. It's crazy. I have these really pretty kind of Japanese inspired watercolor ones. Mountain range. That's pretty cool. Is this one individual? No, that's a tape. I don't want to cut it out. I'm too lazy for that. What else have I got? Oh, here, I think these ones are individual. So another part of that collection. So these really pretty Japanese inspired watercolors, again, from the washi tape shop. I'll try and remember to link them at the bottom because they have some really beautiful options. I've done some product reviews for them, and I have never been disappointed with any of their washi tapes. Let's pull one more off. This one might be a bit too big. Like, just so pretty. Well, bamboo's nice for what we're using. My fingers are so dirty. At least you know I'm having fun. When your fingers are dirty, you're having a good time. All right. Oh, I have to go a little higher. Oh well. Okay, you can always tone those down a little too. And then you have ready to use peel and stick. So I don't want to show you against my hand. Ready to use ephemera here. So just stick it in there. How pretty is that? And again, you can make a whole sheet of them. It took what, 5 seconds to make those? So cute. Love that. All right, I'm going to go ahead and manipulate these anyways because I know they're not completely dry, and I would highly recommend you wait till they're dry. But I want to just show you how you can use them. Look how pretty that is. That's so pretty. right, and let's put this in a book. Same book. So I want something a little bit more stable. Something like this. Woo. Come on. You can leave it as simple as this. It's not dry, so it's a little bit wrinkly. Something as simple as that, and then you can see though how I pull it off and it stays, it's flexible. And that's the beauty of that varnish, and it stays flexible when it's completely dry as well. Just for the sake of videos, I'm not going to bother editing this video, but you can see it stays flexible, and that's why I love that varnish. What else is there? Let's do like a mixed media maybe. Let's do one more label, and I'm sorry if this video is crazy long, but I'm having so much fun with these that I want to keep using them up. I just want to find a good size one. Yeah, let's use this one. Sorry, it's not in your face. So here's a 4, and let's just grab my thing of pens and pencils. So I have this here. It's got random pens and pencils in it. And I'm going to just do some mark making. This is a charcoal pencil. Since my hands are dirty, I might as well go with the flow. And again, don't know where this is going to take me. Just want to have some fun with it. Another different color, burnt yellow. These are just random things I've collected as I've tidied up my room a little bit. They've clearly fallen out of something else. I go fast with this because if I stop and think, then it makes me overthink and it doesn't have that loose look that I want. I want to just throw stuff down. This one is a autumn leaf. I don't want to think about it. I just want to have some fun with some mark making here. Okay, what else have I got? Got a black pen, a Sharpie, fine point. And you can, do dots or textures, whatever it is that you want. I'm just gonna move pretty fast here. Hopefully I'm on camera with all of them. Okay, that. And what else have I got? I got another black pen, water-based. So if I add a little water to that, it will probably bleed. It'd be neat if you could pretend to handwrite. So right now I'm making a giant mess. These could be little background papers. They could be turned into the focal point of something. What else have I got? Pencil, it's a bit boring. Red pen. I think I want to go back to some of this color here and maybe start blocking off some sections. I really like this color. I've got a Posca pen. Oh, don't want that yet. Do I have anything else I can? Oh, here's a Sharpie. Black Sharpie. Sorry, is my camera moving again? I apologize. And then I think I will add some white paint on this. So having fun with mark making is one of the best ways to loosen up when it comes to being creative. You just take some papers that aren't overly important to you and just have fun making marks and building out these textures and layouts and things. And like I said, I do it quick. I don't want to think too hard. I'm just going to add some ink now. I don't want to overthink it because then I start second guessing myself. And I don't want to do that. I just want to have fun throwing down some colors. And you can see very neutral palette here. Just using whatever materials I had in my little basket, which is forever changing because I always find new pencils laying around. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to throw some paint on here. So with ink will absorb into the paint and stain the paint. You can dull down bits and pieces you don't like. Try not to take the paint up to the border of the label because you'll stick the label down to its backing. You want to be able to peel it off after. And you can just keep going and going with these mixed media techniques. You know, if you have stencils, you can really add some texture to those with those stencils and just really go to town on this stuff. I'm just gonna finish off a few here. I want to see if I think my acrylic paint is still wet. So much fun. So much fun. And I like the look of the ink and the white paint together. I like how it starts to absorb underneath, and there's no avoiding that. Ink will penetrate the paint for sure. Same with the Sharpie probably. The Sharpie will absorb up through the paint. And again, you can still have fun with the paint. You can take your scissors and scratch in the paint. Right? I mean, the possibilities for these are endless. And that's why whenever I see labels, I buy them. I don't think I need to buy any for a while now. And yet I still am like, ooh, labels. Gotta get those. Just a little bit down here. And there you go. There's some fun kind of background papers you can use. I think this is still wet, so we can't ink it. Yep, still wet. Okay, so for something like this, again, find your journal. You want a little pizzazz on the page. Just, oh, I've got my pre-made labels ready to go. And then you have a little work of art in your journal. And again, you can color code these to match your journal that you're creating. But just another fun element to find in a journal. Something that simple. And of course you can then put a focal point on the top of it if you want. You know, you can put one of your sketches. You can glue varnish another piece down. I mean, the possibilities just keep going and going. So for a focal point, I mean something like where that's a bit big. What else have I got? Something like this, even a sketch on some, what's this called? Tissue paper. And then the background paper gets pushed back and then you get a focal point in the front. So again, possibilities with labels just keep going and going. You can turn these into tags. You can cut them into pockets. I'm going to leave that open over there. And I think that's it for today. I think the rest is a little too wet, but I think you get it. Once this is dry, that raised texture will be there, and you can rub some ink over and it will really pop that texture. And this is a really big label. So this you can cut into several different sections. You can use it as a journal cover. You can do tons of things. And you just mass produce all your lovely little labels. So I hope it gave you some inspiration. I hope when you see labels in a store, in a thrift shop or whatever, that you grab them and see how fun and versatile they are. All right, guys. I hope you enjoyed that. Have fun creating. Take care. Bye.